I've not been here for about 7 years. I traveled to the States. First of all, I had a tour, which was interrupted with a lot of stuff, including COVID. And then I stayed longer. But returning with DFCU, whatever they organized for my homecoming, which I'm so grateful about still to today, it gave me a lot of thoughts, about one, the fact that since I had done my show, all those many years there had not been any other jazz show. And yet players had come up and I'd mentored a number of them, I'd inspired many. I was connected to many, which I also showcased this same year during the 30-year celebration. So during this Christmas with my fans trying to reconnecting was because of the new management I have, who I also laid out what I really would love to see, reconnect with my fans, but also projecting myself from Uganda as a Ugandan. And I think it makes a lot of sense. After traveling, you learn that, A, it's still better to be Ugandan authentically, and then you can travel to the rest of the world, but B, have a base in Uganda, at least for me. So now I realize that I have to rebuild myself again from home, connect with my fans once again. I've had, for example, today I've had many fans that have told me they've been with me all these many years, and they know all the stuff that I've been doing, and they've been following me. So it's a good opportunity now to reestablish from that angle, knowing that now jazz is growing, not only in players alone, but also in the people that appreciate it. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to have contributed as much towards where we are. And I think for me, it is just time to say, okay, we celebrated 30 years, then what? So 2026 is the answer to that. I'm working on stuff that is going to open up my next page in trying to do better, to do better and challenge myself and, contribute more to the global sound.
We are in the age where a lot of connections are made digitally, where there's someone connected with them.
My social media is all Isaiah Katumwa, all my handles, whether it's TikTok or Twitter, which is X, or Facebook, Instagram, it is Isaiah Katumwa. I love to, because I'm also trying to challenge myself to connect with people, and I try to sit on there personally to try to connect with people and hear from them. People have good ideas, and so even compliments kind of take you to the next level. You get encouraged, because especially with our journeys, sometimes we feel like we're not sure whether we are making impact, because we are not commercial, so we're not everywhere. But when you interact with people and they also tell you how they're inspired, how they love your music, it keeps you more inspired, and it kind of makes you do more in terms of creativity, and keeps you encouraged to do what you're doing. Yeah.
What would you tell Isaiah Katumwa 30 years ago that you know today?
Oh, hey, that's a good one. I think I would tell Isaiah, first of all, not listen to people who don't understand what he's doing. To pursue whatever they want to pursue. And for some reason, and why the question is a bit hard, is because I think I did the right things to get me to where I am. I refuse circumstances to dictate my future. I refuse negativity to influence my take on my future. I worked hard. I think what I would tell Isaiah is not to waste time. Maybe that's critical, not to waste time. Because I feel like in the 30 years I would have achieved a little more, but I also have to be fair to that Isaiah, because there was no internet. There were no music shops. There were no emails, So I think that Isaiah did well Again, it's a hard question.
When you look at your journey, who would you point as your biggest influence?
I'm a mix of different elements because in order to be authentic, I've tried to learn what I like about each different element. Say, the 7 names that actually contributed a lot to my artistry were people that sound different from each other. From Human Sekera to Kirk Whalum, from Jonathan Butler to Angelique Joe, from Miriam Makeba to Dave Coles, like people who don't sound necessarily the same, but yet each of them inspires something in me. For example, Miriam Makeba inspired the African authenticity of just being herself. Huma Sekela was also, because he knew a lot, he could have done the bebop jazz, but he chose to rebuild on what Africa is. In fact, he used to say that Africa is the secret of my success, And then you go to people like Kirk Whalum, who, as a Christian, he has lived the Christian angle very unapologetically. And for me, that inspires me. Jonathan Butler, who is also doing a bit of African, and it's also a bit of smooth jazz. And Manu Dibango also had that element where he's just trying to be African, but also contribute the jazzy angle, a take of Africa from in jazz, but from his angle. So I wouldn't pick on one person that influenced a lot. But although I know that I think in terms of melody and play, I think Dave Coles has been so significant. But again, many elements from everywhere.
There is the tune you played, and you say people always ask me what my favorite song is. You mentioned.
Yeah, this is me.
This
is me, it's Baksimba. I birthed it from Baksimba, and I'm thinking about a language we speak, because we all speak English, but when you go to in a meeting, I always say this, and I hope that people understand it, that we all speak English. Chinese will speak English, a Nigerian, a Northerner, an American, an English person, even a German. We'll be in the same room, we'll all speak English and we'll understand each other, but we all sound different. This Is Me is one of those songs that if I played it in America, because of that rhythm, I have the Baksimba in there, but the saxophone will play the melody that they will still understand. But I'm not trying to be like somebody else. I'm not trying to pretend to be an American. I may speak English, but really, and again, I know that my accent has been influenced a lot because of travel and people I've interacted with. But either way, even when I'm with them, I don't sound like them. I sound Ugandan, And that's how I think This Is Mission is like, that this is me. I'm not trying to be someone else, this is who I am. And I think in art, it helps to just be authentic and be genuine and express yourself. And in fact, the words in there say, abalala bampi, abalala bawanvu, ze bwentu. Abalala beru, abalala baddugavu, ze bwentu bendu. Ndi munnauganda, ndi muganda ddala, ekyo kyendi. That's who I am. Like, I don't need to be someone else. So, yeah, I love it because of that. And then also, many people have reacted so emotionally on it that they keep wondering, what does that song mean? I don't know why.
Take us into the mind of you on stage. The emotion in the melody.
sometimes I'm distracted by the technicality, and I don't like that because I just want to focus on creating. So I hate it when the sound has an issue, or maybe like tonight when the weather was affecting my saxophone. I hate that. But naturally or realistically, when that is not happening, I just want to be I want to feel what I want my audience to feel, so that I share that. Because if I'm not having a good time, I don't expect anybody else to have a good time. So, if I'm delivering a song, I am the one who knows why I wrote that song and what it means. So I have to execute that for people to connect with that. So in my mind, it's such a big responsibility and an opportunity to be able to express myself through something that I love to do, and I just want it to be perfect. So sometimes I'm disturbed by that perfectionism. I want something to be perfect, and when it's not perfect, I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But yeah, so in my mind, I'm thinking about how best to express myself in the most authentic way and connect with people so that they feel what I'm trying to feel, whether happy, whether emotional, whether meditative, whatever it is.
One sentence for your son.
For my son, never let anybody tell you it's impossible. Anything is impossible. Anything is possible.